7 minutes. Minus 6 minutes. Minus 5 minutes. Stand by.
How about that?
Hey, don't touch me there.
It's a great day. It's going to be a great day. I've already been called Walter Matthau once. You know what that means? We're live from Golf Fanatics in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic, which better known as Theoren Fleury's Golf Classic and Foundation. We do it every year. We broadcast the show from here. Hi, RP here, Kevin the Medium in the flesh. What's up, Kev?
I'm doing well. It's a nice day. The cloud just kind of settling in. It's nice.
It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. Theoren Fleury, I was going to write down his numbers, but we don't need to. 1,100 NHL games played, 1,100 points, Stanley Cup, Olympic gold, World Junior gold medal. This is his event. My dear and close friend, Theoren Fleury, will be with us later on in hour 2. We got a very busy show, so we got to stop Mickey Mouse and get down to business. Let's just get down to business. But the roadmap is this. Kevin the Medium with me for a lot of hour 1. Mike Abou-Mechrek will be joining us live here. 10-year CFLer. He's won more Grey Cups than Muhammad Ali. He will have you know that.
It's amazing.
10-year CFLer.
That's
right? And he'll be with us later on in hour 1, a little bit of hour 2. And then John Murphy's going to join us from Houston, Texas to go over ball for all Murph via video, not here. And then the man himself, Theoren Fleury, he'd be like Santa Claus at the North Pole, going to sit down and join us, Theoren Fleury. And then Todd, the manager here, will join us as well. So that's the whole deal. I'm going to jump right into it. We got the live viewers. The guys were great. This is the golf version of where we were yesterday. Would you not agree? Overtime hockey lanes.
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, everybody knows you go to a driving range for golf. People don't realize that you can go to overtime hockey lanes. And I mean, we were there 3 years ago.
Right. 4 years, whatever it is. I'm just saying, this is the golf version. So you see the guys up here. It's like Top Golf, but they have a 9-hole course over here. That's the whole thing with the event. Theo will explain it later. But yeah, so golf's going on, but we're here to talk football. The people put up with a lot of hockey talk yesterday in August, and I appreciate you because the Rod Squad is the best viewers in the world. We know that. But they want to talk ball. And week 12 in the CFL opens tonight with Ottawa at Montreal. And normally, why would you watch? It's worst against first, but I look at the point spread. It's 13.5 points. Montreal's favorite. All of a sudden, do they cover, right? I mean, I'm going to be driving home. I don't know if I'll have time to watch, but I'm just saying, our poll question today is, are these 0-9 Ottawa Red Blacks the worst team in CFL history? And I love what the viewers are saying, and I'll get to more of their comments later. This is the opening segment, goes real fast in the warm-up for you to go up Carefree Travel. How would you answer that? Is the 0-9 Ottawa Red Blacks the worst CFL team ever?
Yes.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. I didn't expect that.
There just isn't. I mean, you look at them, and they're just like the bad news bears of the CFL this year. It's anything that can go wrong is going wrong for that team. It's bizarre.
Well, our viewers love all the sports, but I would think if you asked them, they would say they're football number one. And Carlos in Indiana goes, we're halfway through the season, and this question's coming out. And is it, who the hell is it? Somebody, obviously with my sunglasses, I have a tough time seeing my screen, so bear with me. But somebody said the Edmonton Elks lost 22 straight games at home. Like, I don't know. It's a no from me. For all these, we're not even fully through the season yet. It's funny because who the hell was I talking to? I think I was on the radio in Edmonton yesterday, and they're thinking maybe Ottawa could save this season. Based on the way the standings work, maybe they could, man. We've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's always hope. Hope is a dangerous thing in the wrong hands, but no, I don't see them saving it. Having said that, I know you don't watch the broadcast, you don't listen to the broadcast. TSN did something at halftime last week that I thought was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
And anybody that watched it, I'm sure they saw it, where they're going, oh, that's so Ottawa. If I'm the owner of the Red Blacks, I'm on the phone and I'm demanding an apology. I thought it was tasteless, classless thing I've ever seen.
Well, are we ever living in a kinder, gentler time? You're 0-9. Suck it up, Buttercup. Listen, this guy's been following the CFL longer than me.
Yes.
And, like, this is your jam.
It is.
I do think you kind of get lost as a prisoner of the moment a little bit. Can we say we're best friends? Who do you talk to more than me? Nobody. That's not family.
I was going to say Angela.
Right.
but-
You don't talk to anybody more than me, and
Okay,
vice versa. So we're
fine.
best friends. So I'm not saying you may be right. They might be the worst team of all time. I'm just saying I've seen some bad teams. And with Saskatchewan in 2015, I was the voice of the team. We went 0-9. We fired Corey Chamberlain and I think Brendan Taman. Yeah. And we replaced them with Bobby Dice and Jeremy O'Day on the interim. And we went 3-6 over the second half. We finished 3-15. And we were a bad team. But the point is, there's been a lot of teams 0-9. There's actually been a lot of teams 0-9. Okay, so I don't think that they are the worst team ever. But the other thing is, this with Ottawa-ish, like literally, what are you, 10-year-olds, 7-year-olds? I mean, God bless you for saying that. But I remember one time, Kev, we were so bad. We were flying into Montreal with the Riders commercially, and we were like, whatever we were, like 1-12, and the pilot goes, "We just had touchdown in Montreal. It's the only one you'll have this weekend.
Oh,
Have a good game."
Ouch.
That happened.
That
So
hurts.
you're 0-9. Getting mad at TSN. Fix your shit.
Yeah, I get it. I get that you're crappy, so you have to try to fix your stuff. But TSN's the voice of the CFL right now, and I just thought it was classless. It was just
You're entitled. A lot of people were. As you saw.
even the panel, you could see they were uncomfortable doing it. It was just one of those awkward.
Well, do they cover Montreal?
Not a chance.
No. Does Montreal cover? Do they beat them by 14 or more?
It's going to be a blowout.
Okay.
By 20.
Some of the other which we'll get into that, but that's the opener of week 12 tonight is Ottawa at Montreal. It's not even anywhere. I think I got 0 votes for Canada's game of the week. Yesterday's poll brought to you by our good friends at EMJ Market. So no, it's not. But there's a case to be made for the other games. And that's what people came here to talk about. Winnipeg at Edmonton Friday night, which I got to go through the lines again. They're a lot more narrower and a lot like, I want to say Edmonton's favored by 6. Yeah, they are. Edmonton's favored by 6 at home. And I don't really care. I don't bet. And it's straight up for me. Saturday is the QE Battle of the QE W, Hamilton at Toronto, which should be a hell of a game. That's an underrated game.
Yes.
Argos are favored by 4. And then the doozy of them all, baby. There might be a fight in your house.
Well, I think we're going to be up at Cypress Park, so it could be literally a rumble. She put up a rider flag. She put up a rider flag at the campsite. So I looked at her and I said, "You just started a war. You can't win."
Okay, we're going to have to break, but it's the rumble in the jungle, the Riders at the Lions on Sunday. He's talking about his woman, Angela, and himself. I'm going to be there. It's going to be big fun, so we have a lot to get to. Settle in, everybody. We'll be right back from Theo's Golf Classic, Golf Fanatics, and the RP Show.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away, ultimatefanzone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge. Big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon
and
and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live from Golf Fanatics, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic. That's Theoren Fleury's foundation, which provides free counseling for trauma and abuse survivors in Alberta. We're going to hear from the man himself, Theo, coming up next hour. I just had to run in the break, Kev, and tell the beautiful young girls that work here that and the guys that we're live on YouTube out here. Also, WQVZ Radio, Silver State Sports in Hour 2 in Nevada, a lot of places. Game Plus streaming across Canada. Okay, Kevin the Medium is with us. What do you forecast, Kev? For anything.
For anything. Wow. You just put this, throw these curveballs at me. I'm like, what are you
Well, you can handle it. You're an established podcaster.
I forecast today is going to be one of those days that we'll remember. I remember being here last year. And it was funny when I was getting ready to come, I'm like, oh, I should put some mosquito spray on. Because remember last year, the bugs were so bad when we were sitting in this exact same spot. We were literally eating them as we were talking.
Well, there's just a little enough of a breeze, but a beautiful day here. Okay, bear with me. Here's what the viewers are saying. Rob from Las Vegas says, that's so Ottawa was a fail. I agree.
Oh, it was horrible.
Scott in Vancouver says the Red Blacks always seem to find a way to lose. Rich from Edmonton says some of those Horn Chen Rough Rider teams were god-awful. Trying to get through the comments here as much as we can. Vancouver Eric says 2003 Hamilton Tiger Cats were 1-17. Right. Who'd they beat? Us. In overtime, in the hammer on a Paulus Balderson field goal. Scott in Vancouver says, Rod, will you be in a private box at BC Place? That's the plan. I don't know. As Kev has realized, I'm trying to get through today. Then I'm trying to get home. Then I'm trying to get through Friday's show. Then I'm trying to get on a flight to Vancouver and then stuff. I haven't even thought about Sunday yet.
You get to know, once you get to know Rod, you realize you don't start talking about anything until the day of. I so want to talk to Rod about the cruise that's coming up in February and make plans for it. And it's driving me. I'm literally overanalyzing this whole cruise. And I know if I try to even bring it up to Rod, it's like, no,
so
I'm worried about today.
887 people want something from me. So get in line, and I'll deal with today's today. I'll worry about February in February. But anyways, that cruise of which he speaks, of course, is brought to you by Uniglobe Carefree Travel. Cruise with the Stars. Kevin the Medium will be on it. Adam Bighill, Willie Jefferson, Jake Serezna. Yeah, cruise prices starting at $18.99. Cruise only. Kevin's booked yours. What are you waiting for? Email Neil Chark, Neal, Neil C. at uniglobecarefree.ca. I'm hoping to see Neil in Vancouver, but I think we've established I'm not looking ahead to that just yet. But thank you. I have talked to the Lions. I am set up. I just don't know where I'm going to be. It's their house. I'm coming as their guest. But enough about that. It ain't about me, even though it is the Rod Pedersen Show. Not a big deal. Okay. Where do we go from here, caller? Of all the, well, you might as well talk Riders. Actually, I do have one. You said you've been reading the game notes, but I don't assume you've read this week's, or
I
have you?
have not.
No. You've been busy. It's okay.
Been busy.
Well, I perused only tonight's game, because we got Football Friday tomorrow. I'll look at the other games tomorrow. Brett Lawther, here's the one that has stuck out to people. The Ottawa kicker is 23 of 23, 100%. I want to talk about that. He's a long-time friend of mine, and it just burns my ass like a midget with a flame. People, maybe he's not that bad. People are writing in, why do you think he's... Somebody wrote to me on Twitter, so why do you think he's 100%? I don't know. Why do you think?
Because he's that good. And how many times have the Riders moved on from a kicker that they shouldn't have? We can go way
it's
back.
Not just kickers, bro. It's not just kickers.
But we're talking kickers. I can go back. I mean, look at Paul. I mean, that's a perfect example of you mess up once and you're gone.
It's pretty sad when you think about it. And I mean, you guys, everything's flooding my mind at once. In that, I don't think, did Paul McCallum go into the Plaza, or is he going in this year? I've scrubbed my mind from a lot of Rider history, just so you know, for a lot of reasons. But like Brett Lawther does not have warm, fuzzy feelings of Saskatchewan. And I wonder, he saw what was said about him, and Paul McCallum too. And I guess my point is, those people, the Rider fans, because they're not all like that, but they're never, ever going to change.
No.
They are not going to change. So what happens? We have to change. And thank God Brett Lawther has found life and been able to continue his career somewhere else. And I think the one thing is Lule was on here the other day. I don't know if you saw that interview.
Yeah, I did.
He said he would have liked to play for the Riders. And I just feel like saying, you don't know what it's like. It's a tough, all I'm saying is it's a tough place. They're not bad people. It's a tough place.
And Rod told me about that area and being in Saskatchewan and being the Rider fan. And you hear it because I've been a football fan for 55 plus years. So you hear all about Rider fan. But until you're there and you're actually experiencing it, there's nothing like it. And we live 4 hours away from Regina. But the pride, the fandom of Rider fan is next level. It's just different. They do things differently.
And the pressure. Darren from Melfort says Lawther had too much pressure in Sask. Gary writes in, he says, I played Golf Fanatics yesterday. Where are you? And got a hole in one. We're up on the second deck, bro. Don't worry about it. Scott says, thinking the Als defense is going to have a field day tonight. Oh, probably. Brent from the Bridge City wrote in and said, one day at a time, Rod. There's a reason. I have to have it on my brain. and that's why I coach people like me. So anyways, the point is, the gentleman said it. Darren, it's just the pressure. And I guess some guys can thrive in it and some guys can't. I mean, Brett won a Grey Cup there. He had a great career in Sask. One day he will go into the Hall of Fame. But I just want to tell you that the pressure is what it is. It's the same in Dallas. If you want to know why that team hasn't, the Cowboys haven't won in 30 years, look at the Leafs. Look at the Flames here.
Yes, it's the same thing.
It's not, right. Go ahead.
It's the same thing. When you're playing a sport like hockey or football, in certain cities, there's a spotlight on you. In other cities, not so much. I mean, you go to Minnesota, you don't have the spotlight on you if you're playing hockey there. If you're playing hockey in Toronto, there's a giant 20 spotlights on you. So, I mean, to say Lawther couldn't handle the spotlight, I don't believe that. I think he had a few bad games, a few games that weren't what he would normally say was his best. And fans got on him, and the team listened.
Well, I think what we're seeing is it's a very difficult job.
Oh,
and
yes.
And to be honest with you, I got to look at Jeremy O'Day, the general manager, would have made the decision to move on from Lowther, not based on what the fans saw. He would have done it on what he saw. He's been on that field. He long snapped for field goals. That's the one thing about Jeremy. We haven't seen eye to eye over the years, but I won't question his football acumen. And it's similar to 2011 with the Rough Riders when we had to eventually fire Greg Marshall when we were 1-7. Our president, Jim Hobson, he was not influenced by the fans, but he was like, he's got to go. Great. And we replaced him with Ken Miller and blah, 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 CFL lore. So all I'm saying is that's the pressure of the play. I'm not even saying anything negative. That's where I'm from. Those are my people. In 20 years as voice of the Riders, as I said in the video, when it was over, I was ready to go. Anyways, Sunday's game. Lions are favored by 1.5. So if they win, they cover.
Yes.
Largely.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be that close? You obviously are picking BC to win.
I'm obviously picking BC to win. I think it's going to come down to last-minute field goal on either side. It's who has that ball last, and that's going to kind of depict who's going to win that game. I think it's going to be one of the best games of the season. The Lions have really got things rolling now, and I think the Riders are going to come off that loss of last week with a bit of a chip on their shoulders, and they always love to play in the Dome. Gosh, I remember so many games going there, and half the crowd was wearing green, and it used to drive us nuts. But that's Rider Phil.
Well, you got to understand, too, because I see it in the States all the time. Like in Miami, it drives the Dolphins crazy, and the fans, when the Bills come to town, 75% of the stadium is Bills fans. Now, I haven't lived there since the Cowboys. Cowboys haven't come to town since I've been there. I'm hoping one day that they do. But in Arizona with the Coyotes, they went out of their minds. The Penguins would come to town, and 90% of the rink was full of Pittsburgh fans. Don't get me going on Oilers and Flames. It's not just a CFL or a Rider fan thing. It's the way it is. In my mind, it should be celebrated.
Yes.
But that's how I see it.
But as a fan
of the other team,
you hate it. As a business, if I'm the owner of the business, I'm like, oh yeah, bring them in. We got twice as many fans as we did last games, so this is good. And that's what how the Riders have always, I say, been good for the CFL, is because they do have fans everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go, you see that S.
Well, it's why the guys that have played in the NFL and CFL call Saskatchewan the 33rd NFL team and all of that. It's just the way that it is. But that, you didn't see much green in Winnipeg because that place was full of blue.
Yes.
They didn't let the Rider fans in, largely. In Edmonton, they do. And Calgary, Calgary was number one. And the interesting thing, oh my God, the wars, dude, like the literal wars. Were you living here in the day?
Yes. We had season tickets. I was able to sell my season tickets for 3 times the face value. Oh, I loved it. I very rarely went to a Rider game because why would I? When I could sell the dang thing at 3 times its face value.
Well, it's what's, to me, I was thinking about this morning. Driving here, setting up, because I'm like, me and Calgary, we're like 2 star-crossed lovers. The timings never quite fit. We love each other. We hate each other. We love to hate each other. You've sensed that now in the time.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, like one day we may end up together. I don't know. Me and Calgary. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I keep feeling that you will end up here at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. One day at a time, bro. I mean, I do love the city, but I do not love the traffic.
The traffic.
Ooh.
I've only been gone for 6 months, and oh my gosh, the drive this morning, I was like, nope, couldn't do this anymore.
Vancouver Eric says, we love that Rider money coming into BC Place. Yes. Okay, good. Vintage Sasko says, Paul McCallum left Sask, won a cup. Milo left Sask, won a cup. Lother left, and while no cup, he is kicking ass. Fresh starts are good, and I know you have thoughts on that.
Yes, I mean, you can go on to any sport, and a lot of times just a fresh start is what a player needs. So, you can dissect that to a million ways, but yeah, a lot of times it's just a fresh start.
Another segment with Kevin the Medium, Mike Abou-Mechrek coming up, Theoren Fleury coming up, Murph coming up. I'm still laughing. I'm looking over here at the staff because, unfortunately, at this time, we can't put it on the televisions. And for a longest time, we couldn't. But I said it was driving me crazy because these girls were like, how can we watch? How can we watch? So I finally, in the first commercial break, I ran over there. I said, give me your phone. She handed it over, clicked on YouTube, and their face.
It was like, oh, my.
Oh, and then all the guys came over, and the people are writing in. It's kind of where it's at, buddy.
You host the most interactive sports talk show I've ever seen, and I've watched a lot of sports talk shows over the years, and nothing, even more so than like a radio talk show where you would take callers. You are still more interactive than that.
It's a hell of a lot of fun.
It is.
One thing, I don't know if Kevin has a take on this. We'll talk about it after the break. Maybe you don't, but ESPN announcing yesterday that Pat McAfee's now going to be on the NFL Monday Night Countdown show, and people are going off on that. They're just so sick of the guy. I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry for him. Sort of like when Connor Bedard was given exceptional status at 15. I felt sorry for him. But that's a rare way of looking at it. But I just wonder, what do you think, viewers? All you see is Pat McAfee. Imagine living in America. You only get snippets of it. He's on all day, every day, on every show on ESPN. And it's leaking into Canada, right? Your thoughts on Pat McAfee now joining the Monday Night Countdown show, plus ESPN College Game Day, plus WWE, Monday Night Raw. It's unbelievable. I don't know if we'll get to the text line today. We got a lot going on. But it's brought to you by Western Dodge. It is 902-518-3033. If somebody knocks our socks off, we'll read it. We'll be right back on the RP Show.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote your rebel, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina. This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
We're live at Golf Fanatics in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic. Colin Pedersen, who you all met yesterday, Stanley Cup champion, was on with us at Overtime Hockey Lanes. I'm like, how many years is it, Patter? He's like, 5, 6. I think it's the 5th, and it's the 4th year that I've emceed it. And it's Theoren Fleury's foundation, and he'll be with us a little later on. And I guess before we get back to the football, you weren't the biggest Theoren Fleury fan. I love this little story. Now that you get to know him, you can't help but like him.
I've never not been a fan of Theoren's. It's just we have different views on a lot of topics.
I can smell a lie like a fart in a car. You know that, right?
We have different views on a lot of topics. Theoren was there for me and my family at the time, going through a really tough time. I will always have that respect for Theoren. Do I agree with a lot of his views on the world? No, but because he was there for my family at that time and for what he does inside this foundation, man, if you don't respect that man. And it was funny because when you were first talking about him and you were giving the stats, do we need the numbers? I think Theo is one of those sports stars, those sports talents that even if you're not a hockey fan, you know who that man is. He kind of supersedes. Yes.
Transcends the sport.
Yes.
So, by the way, back to the football, I obviously could talk about this forever, but Kirk writes in from Toronto. I love our viewers, as you know, and their age demographic. They have a little bit of experience behind them. A little salt and pepper in their hair. Yeah. Kirk in Toronto writes in. He says, "Hey, Rod, the poll question is, are the Ottawa Redblacks the worst team in CFL history?" He says, "No. The 1980 one-win Argonauts were the worst for me." And former Red Blacks boss Jeff Hunt says he'd go back to Ottawa for $1 million if they win the Grey Cup in 3 years. Oh, with Jeff, don't get me go. Jeff Hunt, good buddy of mine from the junior hockey days, was one of the founders of the Ottawa Red Blacks, actually. And he walked for his own reasons. That it's his story to tell, not mine. I know the story. But he said what? He'd go back to the team for $1 million a year? Oh, did he say that? Okay. Well, okay, thank you, because I'm not really following the news. I'm doing other things, and I feel bad for that. But I'm seeing statistically stories are coming out. The Red Blacks losing streak is one of the longest in CFL history. And what were you texting me this morning? Someone was in the news about CFL related. You said, did you see this?
Oh, no, it was here. I said, did you hear about Bo Levi? That
right.
It sounds like he could be ready to play by playoffs, which to me baffles me. As you can see, I've got a walking cast on. I didn't break my leg. He broke that dang thing. And if he can be back before playoffs, that's massive for Hamilton. All they have to do is hang in.
Right. Well, the medical field, believe it or not a doctor.
No.
So I don't know. See, here's the difference between the way that we think. Just people. If I'm Scott Milanovich, it's great. Thanks for that. I got a game to win this week. So he's getting Harrison Frost ready and everything. They made some cuts this week. Shimmer Bridges was cut. Like, he's like, okay, get back to me in November. Okay, when Bo. That's how the coaches think. That's how I think. And the quarterbacks are one play at a time. Whereas the GM, he's thinking down the road. So there needs to be people like me, and there needs to be people like that. Oh, wait, you can't wait to get on camera, huh?
Just had to.
Oh, look at this. But you see the difference in the way?
Yes. And that's their job. A coach's job is, I'm paying attention to this week, but you need that person looking down the road.
It's got to be somebody of those, too.
And speaking of this week, though, I also read that it could be Drew Brown that is starting in this game.
For Winnipeg?
No, sorry, not Drew Brown. Trey Ford.
For Hamilton.
For Hamilton.
Again, Scott Milanovich's hands are full with that. Not Bo Levi's recovery. So that's all that I'm saying is we all think differently, and we have know our lane, and I know mine, and that's the way the coaches think, and that's why we get along. That's why the GM and I sometimes. And as far as this, don't let him hear this, but I can't wait to get Abou on the air. because he was on some bad Ottawa teams. Right? He made the Renegades what they are today. Mike Abou-Mechrek. Like, I mean, the poll question, Abou, is who's the worst? Are the Red Blacks the worst team? This team, the worst in history. And I think we all forget there's been some really bad teams, bro. That's the point.
But there's been some really bad teams, but has there been this bad of a team with this much talent on the team? And that's where I say they are the worst team there.
And that goes to Henry's comment that it's a culture issue. And I mean, God bless Kirk for it. I mean, I didn't see this story that Jeff Hunt said he'd come back. I mean, if there's a guy, they won the Memorial Cup with Jeff Hunt. The guy is a winner. And I'll say this. He left the ownership group in the CFL because he didn't see eye to eye with the way things were run at the board level at that time in the CFL. But it's really largely all new faces around the table because Jeff just doesn't think the way they do. And that's why they have a bit of an issue, a big issue with me. Because Braley was a big issue. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Not a lot of people think the way you do, though, Rod.
Yeah, it's a curse.
A bad thing.
It's a curse. Now they're sitting here today watching us, but I'm just like, as a Lions fan, I mean, you probably love David Braley.
Oh, my goodness.
You do?
Yes. Yeah. Of course. As a fan, I didn't know him. I just knew him. He's basically...
Save the team.
Save the team.
What if I told you he might have held the team back in a lot of ways?
He could have done that as well. There was a few trades that were questionable, apparently.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just, blackouts in the market. It was more about marketing than
yes.
I think he stayed out of the football. That's why they won on his time.
Yeah.
He stayed out of the football. And, I mean, you hire a good person and you let them do their job, and that was what he did, and they won with Wally. I think the Argos won on his watch, too. He stayed out of football.
Yeah.
But as far as marketing...
That's a different story for you?
Forget it. Well, they're two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to sully the legacy of David Braley. I mean, the guy's in the Hall of Fame, and he did save some clubs. I get that. He wasn't the easiest guy to work for, though. And I think in a lot of ways, he did hold the CFL back. But what else you got for me? Anything? Going into the weekend?
I'm really looking forward to this Sunday's game.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, one of the best games of the season. And I hope they fill that lower bowl at BC Place. I doubt they're going to open the upper bowl. I don't have rose-colored glasses on, but let's fill that lower bowl.
What more do you want? A weekend in Vancouver. It's a 4:00 game locally. You could literally fly out that night. I mean, I'm staying. I don't even know where I'm doing Monday's show yet. I mean, that's our thing.
Why would you know?
We've been busy. But I will say this: if you're looking for something to watch, go back and watch the Lule interview from earlier this week. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did.
But yeah, wasn't that great?
Oh my gosh, that guy is just so good.
Special.
Yes.
What did you take out of it besides that?
He just has it all together. Like he's one of those guys where he literally knew his time when his time was up and moved on.
Hard to do.
Yes, we know a lot of them.
What, guys that do that?
Yeah.
Most you're told. Your time's up. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, so for Lule to walk out on his own terms is saying stuff. What I took out of it was, I think everybody should take this out of it, was Travis Lule saying at 0-5, the 2011 BC Lions, not one guy in that locker room didn't believe that they could win the Grey Cup. And that's why with your BC Lions, you probably feel pretty good that you never gave up on them, Kev.
I never gave up on them. And you know what? Even I remember 2011, I remember talking to Jake, and we're like, that is the best 0-5 team I've ever seen. Because they were literally in every game. There was, if not for one play, they were winning. So
that's what Travis said, too.
Yeah.
They were close losses and all the rest.
Yes.
But the fact is, it still remains in CFL lore.
Oh, yeah.
That they did that. And what a nice thing to be able to be part of history in a good way.
No doubt.
There's some guys that you can Google their names and it ain't going away. It's not good. We're not going to name any names. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there. Kind of wish you were coming with me.
Yeah, so do I, but I'm not.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Right. Priorities. How do we say it?
I'm not. It's a live mic. I can't.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, that's never burned me before.
No, what could possibly go wrong?
Mike Abou-Mechrek on the other side of this break. Theoren Fleury next hour. And John Murphy, he might have some thoughts on, is this the worst CFL team of all time, the Ottawa Redblacks? They're probably all mad out there that that's our poll question. I don't believe that they are. But what I'm telling, he does, so
I do.
Get mad at him. But it's just a discussion point on a fun Thursday across Canada, live from the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic, 5th annual edition, hosted by Theoren Fleury. And again, he'll be with us next hour. Thanks, Kev.
Hey,
Travel home
thank you.
safely.
You betcha.
Great seeing you.
You too.
RP Show continues right after this.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away, ultimatefanzone.ca, or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Here we go. Very big day. Welcome back, everybody. Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic here at Golf Fanatics in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But speaking of, Bob writes in from Medicine Hat. He says, good day, Rod and Kevin. Kevin's gone now, but he says, Bob from Medicine Hat watching your show. Looks like a nice day in Calgary. Riders will win by 7. We're Golf Fanatics in Calgary, Theoren Fleury's Golf Classic. But we had to give this guy, Mike Abou-Mechrek, a lot of time. He's a big personality. He's a 10-year CFL veteran, Grey Cup champion. He's won more Grey Cups than
Muhammad Ali.
Right. That's a fact.
And Theoren
I
Fleury.
forget that right. And Theoren Fleury.
Yeah.
That's right. Mike Abou-Mechrek. Thanks for coming down a little early. So here's the thing. I got Abou coming down because Theo's a firefly around here. I never get him to sit down. It's his event. He loves to golf. It's all that. And then I walk in here today and he's like, oh, I'm not golfing. I can come on whenever you want, for as long as you want. I still got Abou booked. So we got to give this guy his time. So Theo's coming on next hour because I'm good to see you. And you came all the way across town.
That's pretty honorable.
You're my guy.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
I've been well, you don't need to like me, but I'm real. Being replaced by Theoren Fleury, there's a lot of worse people I've been.
Right. Oh, you would have? No, it's all good. Theo's coming up later on an hour too. You're the perfect guy.
Thanks, man. I wish more women saw it that way.
For this
that
topic.
Right. All right, let's go.
Week 12 in Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Ottawa Red Blacks, Sask Rough Riders. Right? Wilfrid Laurier. Sorry. Western Mustangs. Hall of Fame. So I got you now. The poll question is, are the 0-9 Ottawa Red Blacks who play at Montreal tonight in the Week 12 kickoff the worst team in CFL history at 0-9?
Yes. Well, you guys, I heard a little bit of what you guys were talking about. I mean, they got some talent there, but who said you are what your record says you are?
Bill Parcells said it first. John Frenzy made it famous.
And you know what? right. Yeah. As many things. Yes. I heard he made famous water as well.
Probably.
But anyways, I digress. It breaks my heart to see Dinwiddie go through this. You know, I played with him. I know how fiery he is. I know how much, he's a quarterback, but how selfless he can be for a quarterback and a head coach. And man, he just wants to win. The other week when they were so close, every week they're almost so, not every week, but they were so close, and you could just see his heart break, like on The Simpsons when Ralph asked Lisa out, and then slow motion he says, "Aah!" You could see the moment when Ryan's heart broke, because man,
what was the moment? Do you remember?
They're doing everything.
Was it in a game or?
Oh yeah. I was right. I mean, pick a game.
It's happened. He's had a. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but I think when they went 0-7, or you know what, I'm. You know my memory, Rod. You can't ask me to remember stuff.
No, I thought you might have remembered. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but you could see. I know the work that he puts in because I know him and I know his team, and your heart goes out for those.
Well, you were Ottawa Renegades. What, 03 to 05?
Renegades were. I was the sixth person on that team. I was. We were there.
Years.
02 to 05.
Okay, so I was close. And I know you had a lot of fun.
Well,
you didn't do a lot of winning.
Well, hey, you're quoting me. Yes. That was when people ask me what was the most fun you had on a team. It was definitely in Ottawa. We had the most fun. It was a great group of guys, a great community to build a team in. But we lost a lot. And from there, I went to Saskatchewan or Winnipeg, and then we were winning again, and winning's a lot more fun than losing.
Yeah.
Sorry to break.
Well, that's what the Edmonton Elks people are saying. You know, their broadcast crew are friends of mine. They're like, "Oh man, wow, this is great." Look. I guess we're sitting here spending a lot of time in Ottawa today. But what's beautiful about the CFL is the fans. They care about the other teams. I get that sense. They feel bad for Ottawa. I don't. I didn't see them writing me checks when I needed it. But this is what everybody's talking about.
We can disagree.
Well, and it's why you don't care about them, or you do care.
Well, hating is caring, right?
Yes, believe it or not, it is.
I wear all my Winnipeg gear. I spent 5 years in Winnipeg, but I got all my gear here in Calgary because I won't put that stuff on in Regina because I'll get my house pooped on.
That's a fact. We covered that earlier. You weren't here yet. But I'm just saying, as a Renegades alum, do you feel any connection to this bunch at all, or is it totally different?
You know what? It's funny. I don't automatically gravitate towards Ottawa. I mean, when the Bombers are on, yes, I'm cheering for them, unless they're playing the Riders. My kid asked me this a few days, and I'm like, you know what? I only played 2 years with the Riders, but I raised my family there, and so definitely I bleed green. But when the Bombers are on, I'm cheering for them. When Ottawa's on, I have to remind myself that
you played there.
That I played there, because it's a different regime. I mean, you talked about Hunt, you talked about different guys. It's just a whole different group of guys. And as an ex-player, you tend to, and Rod, you probably can address this. You cheer for your friends. So yeah, I'm cheering for Dinwiddie, and I don't have any friends over there.
And that's the whole thing, is that it will what? You going to say something?
You're talking about something in the last, and just the environment, and I don't want to pick on Ottawa, but Southern Ontario sports.
What about them?
Are they conducive for winning? Are they a winning environment? You go.
Everybody forgets the Raptors, but
who?
Right.
I thought we don't talk. That's why I wore this. I thought we
soccer.
I thought we don't talk soccer or basketball on this program.
Largely.
But yeah, the Raptors.
No, but
all right, fine. What do you want to talk about that?
Toronto. No, you're on a train of thought. I think that train.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's so many things to do in Toronto and maybe closer to Ottawa too. That the environment of winning isn't the same as it is in Regina or even Winnipeg.
You're saying something. You can address this well.
But a lot of your listens are in Florida, and they seem to do well in hockey
because there's no pressure there. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, look at Lather. He's 23 of 23 on field goals, and I put that. Well, I didn't. The CFL put it in their game notes, which I posted to my website, and the fans are going, "Oh, wait a minute, he doesn't suck." There's a little pressure in Saskatchewan. Now you do have the breadth of living in Calgary, being from Toronto, playing in Ottawa, Winnipeg, and Sask. Come on, there's no place like Saskatchewan for pressure. There just isn't.
No, I said this many times. I always wanted to grow up in Saskatchewan. I just didn't know it till I got there. And then when you're there, grow up as a family man and stuff like that. Great place, but nobody knows it until you get there. You don't know how great it is until you get there. Don't know what you got.
But
till
listen,
it's gone.
I love Lather. I don't know if you know him, like I do. We are
good guy.
Really good friends. It wasn't working there, and I don't know if he'll ever set foot there again until maybe going into the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to Paul McCallum stuff.
Life of a kicker. Well, thanks for bringing up another kicker. That's the life of the kicker. You're the best thing until you're not.
And then you got to go.
There's only one spot.
Yeah, and the point is the quicker you can realize that, the better. And I feel like maybe Brad has. Some people never do get over it. That's old, bitter football people. There's a lot of those.
Well, and if we want to, how much time do we got to talk about that? That's the thing with any sport, any athlete that's given everything. And I'm going through this with my son right now. He's going into grade 12, and I'm wondering, Caleb, he's a solid C student. I don't know why he's got straight A's. When these athletes are given things that they don't necessarily earn, and this is a huge controversial thing, like grades and marks and degrees, they tend to learn that things are just given to you, and they know how to work hard on the field. But your life lessons are not necessarily learned.
The game, there's your alum are playing two big games this week. Winnipeg's at Edmonton Friday. Riders are at BC Sunday. Of the two, which game grabs you more?
Well, the Edmonton, Winnipeg. Who are the Bombers?
I don't know. I was hoping you tell me.
I know the quarterback position is paramount in this league, and they're doing a great job of showing that off. When Zach's in there, they're Grey Cup contenders, and when he's not, when that other guy, I know his name, but the other guy is in there.
They have a few other guys.
They've got to play great defense, if you know what I mean. So I'm excited for that match, almost as excited as I was a couple weeks ago when the Riders were in town. Battle for first. I don't know if the standings show that, but this could definitely be a West final. It could be. That's the caliber of teams when Zach's playing.
Who's going to finish last?
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, does anyone have to finish it?
I say, who needs Netflix?
Yeah. Well, again, BC. I guess you could say the same thing about BC. Two different. When the quarterback's there, they're doing great, and when they're not, they're not. Hamilton. This is this year's great example of how important your starting quarterback is.
That's the sneaky game of the week. Toronto, Hamilton. It really is. Oh, you're not interested?
I don't know.
Argo's favored by 4. Give me a quick thought on Riders Lions because we're going to talk some NFL next hour with you.
Riders Lions. Riders got to get back on track. The last game that they played, it wasn't them. When a game is on and you're interested in it, and when it's just on and like you're doing a crossword and doing 100 other things, there's nothing that the Riders offense did last week that really grabbed my attention. Said, "Hey, you sit your ass down and watch this damn show because we are the best team in the league." They got to get back to that. That being said, BC's also has something to prove.
Going to be a big crowd at BC Place. You mentioned the game, the Riders at Edmonton. Didn't it give you the vibe of the old days? It did, didn't it?
It did. Well, I mean, my first game playing for the Riders in Edmonton, their offense was on the field. Edmonton's offense was on the field, and our fans were making so much noise that their offense couldn't hear it. And I'm getting goosebumps just even thinking about that. I mean, it's a great environment. I mean, people are talking about the crowd in Edmonton. Keep having games like that, and they'll come back.
They keep saying it's going to take a while. I don't think it's going to take that long. Good games and winning. What more do you need?
We need younger fans in the CFL, Rod. That's what we need.
I don't know what to say about that, other than I know that's not my job. We're doing our part. That's what I know.
Gambling, what?
Coming. I said you're better off running a meth lab.
Who said that?
Than I know, right?
We'll bring the kids in.
More with this, Joker. Next hour when we go to air across Nevada. Murph will be with us. Theoren Fleury and more live from Golf Fanatics in Calgary in the RP Show. Ooh.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
How about that?
It's my laptop.
Very special day. Hello, everybody. It's hour 2 for the streaming viewers on Game Plus streaming, the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel, WQVZ Radio, and we're going to air across Nevada. That's what's new since I saw you, Mike Abou-Mechrek.
Let's go, Nevada.
Yeah, Las Vegas. In all parts of Nevada on Silver State Sports. Glad to have you. We have, listen, Canadian sports icons and a couple of U.S. ones coming up on the program today. This guy's name is Mike Abou-Mechrek. I was going to say dear friend of mine, but I don't really like him. 10 years in the Canadian Football League.
You love me, though.
Grey Cup. I don't like him. I love him. Canadian Football League veteran, pro wrestler for a time. Let's not forget that. And a Grey Cup champion. He's won more Grey Cups than Muhammad Ali. He's with us in the opening segment. A good time, not a long time. We're going to get down to business here. Theoren Fleury. You're seeing a little difference here. We're at Golf Fanatics in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is the 5th annual Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic. Theoren Fleury, NHL icon. It's his foundation. They provide free counseling for trauma and abuse victims in the province of Alberta. We're here raising money for it, and I host it every year. You all know that I love Theo. And John Murphy will be with us in the second segment via video from Houston, Texas, to talk CFL, NFL, and all the rest. Hour 1 was all CFL. We're moving to hour 2. National Football League, because you're like the biggest fantasy football.
Let's go.
See, that's the wrestler coming out in him right there. 2 games tonight in the National Football League. We're airing in Vegas. The Raiders are on the road. Thanks to everybody in Vegas tuning in right now with the Vegas Raiders at Houston tonight. And the other game is San Francisco with the LA Chargers. I guess the opening question for you would be, where are you on preseason NFL football?
It's mandatory. You got to play the games, but as a fan, it's kind of hard to watch. And I think this is maybe what's wrong with the CFL, or one of the things is you have to identify with the players. And when you're just when you have no idea who anybody is, it's hard to associate with them. Also with sports, and I think this is maybe why you don't love soccer as much as 8 billion people do.
Not quite, but
it's knowing the context of the game.
Yeah,
knowing if this team wins, then that's what happens, and if that guy loses, then it doesn't matter in the preseason for anything. We could even argue it really doesn't matter in the first 8 games of the CFL season. Ottawa Red Blacks. It's what have you done for me lately? What do you do in the back half of the season? And what do you do once the lights are turned on?
So do you follow the NFL stories coming out of camp different than the fans do, i.e., why is Aaron Donald not playing yet? What about the Max Crosby-Kirk Cousins fight? What about Fernando Mendoza getting all the hype? These are just some of the stories that I'm following.
No, because I lived that CFL life for 10 years.
Same.
You got to write about something. You got to talk about something. And so let's talk about someone's, ingrown hair on his thigh. You got to talk about something. You got to make news. So you got to kind of decipher through what's the noise and what's
here's
really
one
happening.
for you. I mean, 10-year pro here and pro football player. And I look everywhere I looked yesterday was clips of Fernando Mendoza talking about the offense working basically like a symphony. He didn't say that, but every piece has their own. You got to work together. But we all know that. People are acting like this is such a groundbreaking thing from him. And do you think at any point, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but that Kirk Cousins will get tired of the kid getting all the pub?
No, I think that kid needs to be taken behind the alley and roughed up a little bit. He's so nice and positive, and your mom would fall in love with him. And
That's him,
thank you, Rod, for having me on. And really, are people really like that?
That's him.
I don't know. I don't trust those people. Those nice guys that are always
You're
nice.
The opposite.
Well,
moms don't like him.
I'll tell you how I feel. Moms love me. Because you know how I feel. You don't have to guess. Like, if you're always nice to me, even when I spit in your face, like, you're not – there's a difference between being kind and being nice. Like, be real, And
you don't think he's real?
This man, I don't know if he's real or not, but, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm old and cranky and he's just young and fresh and new. That probably has a lot to do with it, But you can't trust what he's going to say because everything's going to be positive. No matter what, it's going to be positive. And I think, Rod, that's why I'm on the show. That's why we've had this 20
I don't
year
know why
honor.
I have you on.
It's because I speak my mind. It's not like, oh, it's a great day, one play at a time, we work hard, and God willing, we did. No, it's like, no, we're garbage. We need to work harder, and here's where we are. But we're gonna kick your ass on Sunday. We're gonna punch you in the mouth. We're not winning football, but we're gonna beat your ass.
How many fantasy leagues will you be in this year?
3.
Okay. I'm assuming you've won some over the years?
Won 2 out of the 3 last year, yes.
Yeah.
It's hard
Does it
to
make you feel like you should be a general manager of an NFL team?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
That's why I stopped playing fantasy, because I'm like, hey, I'm pretty good. I should start sending my resume to these.
Yeah, when you're good, that's when you should stop. Yeah, while you're ahead.
And then I did. I'm like, I'm liking this way too much. But what would you say is your success? There's a lot of fantasy football players watching this. What's the key to the success winning NFL fantasy?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you just got to get lucky. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. Just being on top of things. Your first couple guys you should know, and then I don't know. Just watch. Immerse yourself in it. Know your stuff. Don't believe the hype. Believe the numbers. And
do you have a Super Bowl pick?
No, it's way too early.
That's fine. It's just I'm asking everybody that comes on, and I'm getting a lot of interesting answers. Henry Burris was on here last week, and he thinks the LA Rams are overhyped, for instance.
Really? I think they're one of the.
I thought you said it's too early to say.
It is too early to say. That's why I said they're one of the. I'd like to see the Bills.
Right.
But if history shows anything, they'll lose. The same thing with my Southern Ontario thing. Too much baggage there, I think. I don't know. Tampa Bay and Carolina probably will not make it.
Dude, yesterday we had Colin Pedersen on. We did the show from Overtime Hockey Lane, Stanley Cup champion. We talked about culture. And it's just, even the viewers admitted, they're like, it's not talked about enough outside sports, the importance of culture. Like the Bills, they got a first-year head coach, man. They said his seat's already hot. He hasn't coached a game. Joe Brady.
Culture of that's what I mean. The culture, we talked about that before with Southern Ontario teams, and Buffalo's one of those. I mean, if you think you can't win, if there's any bit of doubt in your mind, you're not. It seems basic, but that's what it is. The best teams don't always win. Well, the best teams rarely win.
Abou grew up, 5-minute bike ride from Skydome?
Sure, maybe 7.
Downtown Toronto. Are the Bills the team that you identify with?
Well, in Toronto, we're a bunch of haters, so I hate the Bills.
Are you really?
Yeah, until my son a couple years ago said, Dad, you like the Bills? I'm like, no, I don't. They're like, you always cheer for them. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So
fair. But my point on the questioning and the culture thing is, I don't know Buffalo. I don't care. There's enough people in Eastern Canada that do. You don't need me loving them. But something's not right there. I mean, the good every year, but not getting to the dance thing, I'm saying.
And that's it, right? If we knew what it was, Roddy, we'd be billionaires. Actually, we wouldn't be doing it. We'd be on our own island,
right?
Doing whatever the heck we want to do. That's what teams are trying to build, it. And nobody knows what it is, but when they see it, when you have it, you know what it is. And as dumb as that might sound to some listeners, other listeners, that's very profound.
It's interesting you say that, and the NFL is built up, structured in such a way, salary cap and the way the draft is situated, to not have dynasties. Yet they still do, largely. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, the Rams are good every year, is my point.
Yeah.
And that story last year with the Patriots was pretty wild. To go from 3 wins 2 years before that to the Super Bowl. Do you think that's a repeatable? Was that a blip or the Patriot way?
I think they got something going, but I always get nervous in sophomore seasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I'm not saying Drake May isn't going to lead the next dynasty. I just get nervous to sophomore seasons when they have to see teams for a second time. I don't know if we talk about baseball. Yeah, you do baseball. They don't just take the starter out the third time through the batting order because he's not doing well. They take him out because the batters see someone else. And
no, but the sophomore thing, you got me thinking. I immediately went to Blue Jays because I'm sitting there going, I mean, you're a Toronto guy. You right in the heyday of the Blue Jays, great teams, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, so are they last year's Blue Jays? Are they the sucky ones from the start of this year? What are they?
Well, last year they just caught fire, right? They weren't the best team, that's for sure. But they almost were the best team, but they weren't necessarily the most talented team. And that's what it is in the playoffs. You just got to catch fire. We're going to bring that back to the CFL. This is when the season starts. Ottawa's 0-8. Well, that doesn't matter. BC was 0-5 I guess 25 years ago now, and they ended up winning it all, right? Anything can happen. In 2001, I was playing for Winnipeg. We were the best team of all time, and we lost to that BC team. We were way better than them. We lost to Calgary.
Yeah, it wasn't BC.
Yeah, Calgary was the worst team on Labor Day, and they came back and they just beat everyone by hook or by crook, and we were the best team, maybe of all time in that year. And we ended up losing in the Grey Cup.
I feel like some coaches and managers have written books. Mark Trestman has a new one out. He's been on this show. You've asked me, you've seen who's been on,
of course,
to come on and talk about it. And it's about catching that lightning in the bottle and catching fire, as you say. There's different ways to do it. But when you won a championship in 2007, your boy Scott Schultz says it was all those fourth quarter comebacks. Something made you believe.
Yeah, and if anyone knows what that is, they're lying to you. Because if they knew what it is, they would win every championship at every level all the time, no matter what. But, I mean, Scotty, anyone on that team knew that feeling. We just happened to score more points than the other team, but that feeling, whether it had anything to do with the points on the board or not, someone was going to do it.
Well, and what's fun, by the way, I've had a lot of your guys on recently. It was a God shot that I know you don't believe in God, but he came to me and said, "Get a boo." I'm not what?
All right,
you don't want people to know? Aren't you a religious studies major?
Yes.
Anyway, he came to me and said, "You got to get a boo on." So I've had all my guys on, and you're just the latest. Don't think you're anything special, but winning the Grey Cup in your hometown must have been pretty boffo. I've never asked you about that. In the city.
Oh, it was dreams come true. Not only was I in my hometown, but I had just come from Winnipeg. I had more friends on the Bombers than I did on the Riders at that time. And after we won, I went over and I celebrated with the Bombers, consoling them before I ran into the stadium, ran into the crowd to hang out with my family. And on top of that, my mom was sick and dying of cancer, and she was. You know what? We got her a ticket to the game. She actually wasn't well enough to come to the game, but that whole game, I thought she was there.
She was.
Yeah, for sure. So it was absolutely fairy tale. Playing for my new team.
I never asked you that.
You know what? We probably have. We're just getting old and don't remember. Dude,
right?
We've been doing this for almost 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Making beautiful music.
Yeah. Every week for 12 of those years. Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, he asked, I think he kind of alluded to how did it start. I never forgot the day. I want to say it was about 2009 because your last season was 2008. And you called me and you said, "You have a spot for me on your shows because I just did a show with your competition and they freaking hate you." You remember that competition? You're like, I felt dirty being with them.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember doing, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, no. You called me and gave me heck for being like, "How come you doing with that show?" I'm like, "I'm just doing stuff. Like, do you want me to, I won't go on their show again." And then we started.
I feel like you called me.
Well, we probably just looked across the bar at each other and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I don't know." "What are you doing?" "I don't know." "Let's do nothing."
We should be together.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. No, but I never heard the Bomber side of that from you. Is my Winnipeg lost it, everybody. 23-19, the team that Mike had signed left to come with us. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about all this. So when Winnipeg won it in 2019, you must have felt good for them in absentia.
Absolutely.
Based on what they'd been through. That was a 30-year drought, everybody.
2019, is that how long it took?
Yeah.
No, because I was
1990 to 2019.
Yeah, because I was there. I was
a big portion of that.
No, I was in Winnipeg and I was in their locker room and I was spraying.
You weren't.
Yeah, I was representing the Rod Pedersen show.
Here
This guy,
oh yeah,
fans. This guy right here doesn't.
I'm so sorry.
He's losing it.
I'm so sorry.
I have pictures with this thing.
That's
and
right.
It got
you
me.
do.
It got me in.
I look
free.
forward, not back.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. I
just
feel like we need another show.
I feel like I just look at my toes and stay out of trouble that way.
Yeah, and that was good. No, you were in there with the interviewing Willie Jefferson. That's right, taking pictures, and you were media for that.
That was a great experience. Yeah.
How about that?
And then I flipped the coin. Yeah, the Saskatchewan Winnipeg battle. It's wonderful. One of my kids. I got one kid from each city. It's a good time.
Well, listen. The viewers in Nevada are just getting to know you. I'll find out from them later whether they like you or not. But give us a thought on the Raiders.
The Raiders, I'm really excited about their offensive line. You know, they got this running back last year that wasn't really given a chance because I think you and I could have lined up there. They really didn't have anyone. They went and they got Lindenbaum from Baltimore. I think he's going to make a huge difference. Well, Jeremy O'Day was our center, and I mean, if your center is setting the protections, really the rest of the guys just have to be big and get in the way. Oh shoot, I can't remember their tackles draft pick from last year. It was hurt. Yeah, you know, if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have anything. You can have the best running back in the league, you have the best quarterback in the league, which they don't. If you don't have an offensive line, you have nothing. So it's great to see them build the foundation there.
All right, so you're saying they have a chance. They won't be drafting first overall this year.
Ricky Bobby, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Las Vegas Raiders at the Houston Texans. They are against Miami in week 1, the team that I'm forced to follow, but they will have less wins than the Las Vegas Raiders this year. There's no doubt.
Yeah, my son and I are going over to Europe to watch one of those games, and it seems like all of the lower tier teams get to go and play over there. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You get relegated to Europe if you finish in the bottom 6?
Somebody's got to go, and that's who drew the short straw. Yeah.
Sorry, exactly. Jacksonville.
Okay. Outstanding stuff. Mike Abou-Mechrek with it. We'll do it again. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
You're the best.
John Murphy. No, you are. John Murphy coming in next. 4-time great. You think you on 1? He's got 4. John Murphy.
Man City,
next.
EPL.
Theoren Fleury a little later on, and Amber from the Breaking Free Foundation. We're live for the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic in Calgary. Golf Fanatics. It's the RP Show. Be right back.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live. Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You're going to be hearing from the big man himself, all 5'6" of them. Theoren Fleury coming up in the next segment. But John Murphy is with us. Hey, Murphy, good to see you, brother, joining us from Houston, Texas to talk some ball. Are you jealous seeing me in Calgary? You spent so many great years here in Cowtown.
I'm jealous of Mike sitting next to you there. He got the free spot.
Yes. Oh yeah, I had to get him down.
To the both of you, it sounds like the Rod Pedersen show was basically the original Seinfeld. What's the show about? It's about nothing. We got a show about nothing.
Yeah, it's good when you can get two. When you can get friends together.
What makes it work is those stories, right? Like at the end of the day, what makes your show so popular, and no matter when you click in or when you snap on to the show, is you can join the show like it is picking up a conversation that you left off 10 years ago. You can pick it right up whether you're watching every day or you just jump in Friday at, the last 20 minutes. You could hear something that you remember hearing or talking about, 5 minutes ago or 10 years ago.
I know you get lost in time. I guess that's what this show brings. Well, Murph, we're going to get to the CFL stuff. I think you've heard what the poll question is today, but let's start with the NFL because the Raiders are at the Houston Texans tonight, kicking off week 2 in the NFL preseason. What are your thoughts of this week in NFL news and this game tonight for the Raiders?
Well, I think the big thing you see from the Raiders tonight is when the Texans have already come out kind of in the last 2 days after unfortunately losing Jaden Higgins, their starting wide receiver, to an injury. They're going to play a lot of their backups and younger players. That offers the Raiders an opportunity tonight to kind of use it as a combo dress rehearsal for week 1, but you get another Fernando Mendoza, opportunity. And when you watch, Mendoza with the interviews and the way he carries himself and what he says about himself and the offense, you're excited for what their future holds. How this season goes, I think, is still to be determined, right? You have a Broncos team off of 14 wins, and if they have Bo Nix, they should be good again. The Chargers, right, we seem to be always saying this could be the years the Chargers, break out. How did they do with Mike McDaniel? And the Chiefs are the Chiefs now again. And they have a running back. And if they find different ways to play now, with their aging superstars and Mahomes off of an injury, it's still a very tough division for the Raiders. But I think you have to like what Mike was saying. The O-line's going to be better. If Genty gets going, okay, now you have that. You have your number 1 quarterback for the future. You have potentially Brock Bowers, top 3 tight end, and a defense that at least has a few more parts that could get some stops. So I think the Raiders are way more competitive. And then I think we're all waiting for what bye week or what week in the second half of the year do we see Fernando Mendoza. For the Texans, that's a huge, huge void now. To think you're going to fill it internally when you really don't have a guy behind Nico Collins. Higgins was the guy. Will not be surprised if the Texans either look to make a trade, find somebody on waivers, or maybe even make a phone call to somebody that used to play for them, like a Braden Cooks, or even DeAndre Hopkins, right? He's 34, didn't have a great year last year, has moved on to kind of getting on to the next stage of things. But this is a win or go home kind of year, make or break for the Texans, because next year you're going to have to decide what you're doing with CJ Stroud one way or the other. I don't think you can just rest and hope that, Jared Wayne or Xavier Hutchinson step up into that number 2 role. It's just too tight and too hard of a conference. And you look at their first month, they play the Bills. Then they have the Bengals. They have the Jaguars in there. It's going to be a telltale first month for the Texans, and you don't want to get off to a slow start.
Just one more on the Fernando Mendoza thing. You obviously saw his quote from yesterday that everybody's raging about. I felt, Murph, that it was not that groundbreaking, that the offense needs to work in unison. We're going to have some busts, but we all have the same goals. Doesn't everybody know that? Why is everybody treating this like he's rewriting the Old Testament?
You know what? I like him. In terms of, I think that's going to play very well in the locker room, that he's very self-accountable. He always deflects giving credit, to the other players on his offense or defense. And then he's a very, passable guy for a face of the franchise, to own up to his own mistakes and, like I said, to deflect attention to others. I think they've hit on him in terms of as a guy. Now we still got to see him go out there and play, and he's not going to face the first unit of the Texans defense tonight. And the second unit was very underachieving and was not exactly up to the Texans standard last week against the Chargers. The Chargers were able to run all over them. They had a lot of missed tackles and good opportunities for the Chargers, second and third teamers last week. So I think, it'll be interesting to see him play a lot tonight. But I think we're still going to see Kirk Cousins at least through the first, 8, 10, 12 weeks of this first season.
We'll come back on the NFL. Everybody's dying to talk about the 0-9 Ottawa Red Blacks. And it's not a fun poll. Fun in that I'm glad I'm not with them. Like 0-9 is horrible. And I've been there. And I don't know if you've been with an 0-9 team. Poll question for EMJ Marketing is this the worst CFL team in history? I think we all know they're not. A lot of people say they are. There's a lot of talk in Canada right now about the 0-9 Ottawa Red Blacks, who visit Montreal tonight, the first place team in the league, who's 8-1.
Yeah, I think you have a lot to look at here, to say in the CFL, what normally causes when you're in a transition period is nobody likes to spend all that extra money. You look, it was probably a good 10 plus years ago that Montreal went through that kind of 3 to 4 year period where the whole coaching staff got removed twice. They were paying as many coaches as they were players, it appeared at one time. And that's just not the way that CFL teams work today. So it is a very difficult thing in any organization. If you walk in and you have parts of the old foundation with a new culture and a new group of people coming in, there becomes some divide there, over time. And I think, those early games where they had a couple of opportunities to where games could have gone a different way, when they don't, I think you start seeing the conversation, right? We mentioned it when they traded Drew Brown. That had to happen sooner than later because it would have been a problem in the locker room. I think you're hearing it when you hear things that come out of the people that have left. It is how you want to run your organization, and if you've changed hands with that and given somebody else the authority, you can have others kind of talking behind the scenes or in pockets, in the locker room, protecting yourself because, in pro sports, like any business, if things are going sideways and they're going wrong, if your locker room is not coming together and it's fractured into little pieces that are all trying to protect themselves, you're now working from a negative environment that just does not work. If you look 2008, John Hufnagel comes in, basically immediately sets the tone. I have all these job titles. The buck stops here, not because I want all the titles, but because it has to be one person, one idea, one brand, and that's what we're doing. And it worked, right? As crazy and as mad scientist as Chris Jones was, same idea. We're going to run this style of defense. We're going to play this style of football. And then when it hit, and it hit really well. And they've not, no looking back, right? So you see the difference between doing it that way and having one tone setter. But when you try to mix and match, it's like saying if I'm trying to make, if I have the wrong ingredients to bake a cake or to make the dinner, it's not going to come out well if I, take hamburger helper, and not put the helper in with the hamburger helper, right? It's going to turn out to be a mishmash. And I think that's a little bit of where we are, when we look at what Ottawa is in the moment. I don't think it's all to blame on any one portion. It's just when you have some of those winnable games, and they've had a great season out of Lowther, you've had some things that you could look at and point to positives, but you can't sign A.J. Allen and have him playing in Regina against the Riders a few weeks ago, and he's backing up Luke Cormier. No disrespect to Lucas Cormier. Right, you can't lose, your starting defensive line. No Cleon Lang, no Wakefield, no Bryce Carter. When you have that occur, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a winning season when your main players that are getting paid are either on injured or not living up to their expectations. So is this a harder road than expected? Yes. But I think if you ask people and looked on paper, it's maybe 3-6 would have been the best start you would have had. Considering their opponents. 0-9 is just, it's 0-9, right? That's what sounds so bad about it. Is it the worst team ever? Probably not. It is a bad team in this one season.
John Murphy with us, 4-time Grey Cup champion, draft scout from Houston, Texas. Theoren Fleury coming up. In the next segment, we're at Theo's golf event, the Breaking Free Golf Foundation. 5th annual, right, Theo? 5th, yes. Theoren Fleury will be joining us, NHL great, from right here on the set. Talking ball with John Murphy right now on Silver State Sports and Game Plus streaming. Murph, we're going to save a minute for the Winnipeg-Edmonton game. We have so many viewers in Edmonton too. It's a big game. But the game that I'll be at is Sask at BC Sunday. Lions favored by 1.5. They've won 3 in a row. What's your breakdown of that game?
Yeah, and those are very connected because for BC, you got over the hump last week. That was the make or break game for you to stay in competition for a Western Division playoff spot. Now you have the combination of saying, in all likelihood, one of these Western teams is going to be competing against Toronto or Hamilton for a crossover spot the second half of the season. And you look at what they have ahead of them. Winnipeg has a very difficult run here. They play the Elks, then they play the Alouettes, and then they have back-to-back with the Riders. You got to at least go 2-2 there. Anything less than that, you're probably sliding toward the crossover. Nathan Rourke, now healthy. If the BC Lions continue to play defense that way, the run game has found themselves, and it's not James Butler all the time. It's now him and Horvath. You now have a team that is marketable in the sense of if their O-line allows Rourke a chance to make plays, BC can continue this run and play well. The Riders, it looks like they get a little bit of help. Johnson and Emelis back, so you start getting some of your players back. I think last week was a culmination of all the injuries finally kind of catching up. I know Coach Mace, not going to use that as a crutch and said, hey, we just didn't play, good football across the board. I think you want to start seeing him get back to the pass rush and get back to making plays in terms of causing turnovers. But the secondary has had as many injuries as the receiving corps, so maybe not surprising that a couple of teams have made some plays against them on the back end. So a BC win, and if the Elks were to knock out Winnipeg, this week, all of a sudden BC is in prime position to make a run for that third playoff spot in the West, and Calgary and Winnipeg will be fighting Hamilton and Toronto for a crossover spot.
Well, and to be honest, I just want to spend a little more on the Winnipeg-Edmonton game. I love Edmonton as a CFL market. They've always been first class to me, even though I was with a rival. That's just the Edmonton, well, they'll call it the Eskimo way, and people are getting fired up again in that town. And you spent some good time in Winnipeg, and their fans don't know how to feel. They don't know what they have as a team. So that's kind of a statement game in my mind for both Friday night.
Right, because, the big thing is that when you've had that long a run of success, and now you're seeing, there is some age, you've stuck with it to try to just kind of rebuild on the fly, move some new pieces in that mix and match with the ones you have, right? Aging Stanley Bryant and Newfield, go get a Broxton to kind of hopefully reset the O-line and give Caleros and Oliveira a chance to have another big season. Get a guy like Serezna and Tony Jones in with, Willie Jefferson, and now they've hit on Fletcher, as a young player. So the front has played well. The back end has given up some plays, for the Bombers that normally are things you don't see. And I've mentioned it forever, whether I was in Calgary, Saskatchewan, and even when I've been in Toronto, the ball, the way that Mike O'Shea and the way that them and their coaching staff, their work, they put attention to detail, the special teams, defense, not costly penalties. The ball seemed to always bounce Winnipeg's way, right? They would get that bounce on a turnover, the fumble, and their guy would fall on it. A tip pass would go their way. They'd get a return in the second half, and Castillo, hits a 55, 57-yarder, and it rallies them back into a game. Some of those plays are going against them now. Some of those bounces aren't always bouncing, their way. And I think if they're not winning on defense with their front, and you don't have a healthy Caleros and Brady Oliveira, suddenly you're not as good as you once were, and the games are so much closer, right? When you look at their points for and points against, they're averaging mid-20s, but for the first time in a while, instead of giving up 20-21, they're kind of giving up 25, 28 to 30, and having some explosion plays against them. I think that's where, if you're the Elks this week, it's Justin Rankin getting back on track. It's Fajardo playing his style. And then defensively, if you're able to create pressure and cause some turnovers early in the game, get them out of that Brady Oliveira comfort zone. And it seems like those are the games that Winnipeg loses, because last week he's got 19 touches. Like I said, if you're playing the Elks, the Alouettes, and back-to-back Riders, Brady Oliveira is going to have to touch the ball 80-plus times in the next 4 weeks before they get a bye in order for them to bounce back and be in contention for a Western playoff spot.
We got about 4 minutes left. John Murphy with us from Houston, Texas. Just tell us what you're up to these days, Murph. You seem busy there in the great state.
Yeah, the awesome part about being in Texas, you could do football 24/7. So I attempt to do that as much as possible, staying in the loop with both professional leagues. And then there's just so much action, all this new changes for rules and regulations with high school and the transfer portal in college allows for you to kind of take all of this experience in contracts and negotiating, communication, and also, the scouting and evaluation part. So kind of juggling all parts of that. And hey, let's see what happens the rest of the fall. Maybe there's a team or two that are, aren't doing as well as they expected in the CFL, and might want somebody who knows how to fix things that aren't going well.
All right. Well, we'll stay tuned for that. On the college scene, I know what I'm going back to in a 10 days time in Florida. It's madness. South Florida. I'm sure Texas is the same, on the cusp of college season.
Yeah, and I think where you are, if you just look at the state of Florida, they thought they had their coach, right? They bring in Billy Napier at Florida. They've now brought Dave Caldwell, a former NFL GM, in as their GM there. How does Florida do? They've bounced back very well on the recruiting trail. Mike Norville, this is probably a make or break. It's been that way the last 2 years. What he was able to do at Memphis has just not translated at Florida State. And when you see what Miami is now back to being, and clearly the juggernaut, of college football, if not in just the state of Florida, but overall another chance. They have a Duke transfer quarterback. They have 2 more defensive linemen that could be drafted early. Miami is going to be a powerhouse team, once again. And then you look around, right? The rest of the state of Florida is no joke. South Florida is a winning program. Central Florida is a winning program. If you look at the facilities that FAU and FIU have, they're unbelievable. The amount of just the largest amount of programs with extra fields and indoor facilities and weight rooms that look like you're the NFL at all of these stops. And then I think the same here in Texas. 5 teams in the top 25. And Texas State is got a chance to be that Hawaii, Boise State, James Madison, Tulane. Texas State has a chance to be that with former CFL quarterback G.J. Kinney as their head coach. And then UT San Antonio, since the days of Larry Coker, have consistently been in a bowl game, winning 7, 8, 9 games a year. So it's not surprising, right? We talk about those 2 states, Houston and Florida. It's not surprising that whether we're talking about high school, college, or pro football, it's 24/365 in both of those states.
It's amazing. And we will get into more of that with you the next time you come on. Murph, appreciate the time. Enjoy the ball. And thanks for this today.
Awesome. Congratulations with everything out there. Tell Theoren Fleury it's awesome to see all he's doing out there.
I will. Thanks, Murph. He's coming up next, everybody. We're live from Theoren Fleury's Golf Classic here, the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic, providing free counseling for trauma and abuse survivors. We'll be right back with Theo right after this.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We got the man of the hour. Make yourself at home, Theoren Fleury. The iconic Theoren Fleury joining us here. Golf fanatics in Calgary, Breaking Free Foundation. What made you want to come back here this year to this event or this place?
Well, I think the format's kind of cool. You know, we do a 9-hole virtual and then a 9-hole par 3. And, you know, as you know, these charity golf tournaments can go, you know, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And, you know, here you get to come spend your morning and you're out of here by 1 o'clock. It's perfect.
Yeah, have lunch. Do you think that's the whole, the hot stove's coming up after this? But 5 years of this, 1,100 games, 1,100 points. You're on the other side of the 1,100. About Stanley Cup champion, Olympic gold, World Junior medal, which we've added to that. I was not aware of that. So hockey icon here. But here we're talking about what you're here for.
Yes.
Can you tell people that?
Yeah. So anybody who's familiar with my story, you know, I experienced a lot of trauma in my life, and subsequently that caused me lots of problems and issues in my adult life. And then, you know, 20 years ago, I decided that, you know, there's a better way to do this, and, you know, stop drinking, stop doing drugs, and then wrote that book, Playing with Fire, which kind of, you know, put me on a different path, a different direction. And, you know, so we're all about supporting trauma survivors. And, you know, what's interesting to me, Rod, is that, you know, we acknowledge the fact that there's a mental health epidemic on the planet. We acknowledge the fact that there's an addiction epidemic on the planet, right? But what we seem to forget is that trauma is the catalyst which brings us into these two categories. And when you fix or acknowledge
the trauma, the mental illness goes away and the addiction part goes away as well. And so, we seem to not focus on what is the real catalyst, what is the thing that we're missing here. And the thing that we always miss is that it's the trauma, which is the cause and effect of, mental health and addiction.
And every dollar earned here goes to what you do.
Yeah. So we have 2 programs at the Breaking Free Foundation. The first program is we do meetups. So we do 1 in person and 1 virtual a month. And then our second program is our therapy grant program, where you can write to us for a therapy grant, because most people can't afford professional help. And once you're approved, we pay for your first 6 sessions with a trauma-informed therapist. And then if you need more, you can reapply and we'll pay for more.
There you go. And it's all free for the Albertans that have suffered trauma and abuse. I've been doing this 4 years. It's your 5th event. I don't think you've ever had rain.
I know. It's great.
Were you guys talking about that today?
No, we didn't. But August in, Alberta's pretty good. So
yeah, we're already down to inside 2 minutes of this left. So what else do you have to say to your adoring fans? They love you in Moose Jaw. You're God there. You should move there. Maybe it would be too much. I don't know. They love you there, but
Moose Jaw is a very special place, and people don't fully understand how unique it really is and how giving that community is. Because you think about 40 years of a community-owned team in Moose Jaw, how much volunteer support they need to run that franchise there. And it's, and you look at how many Stanley Cup winners that team has produced over the years. It's right up there with, the best franchises ever in the history of junior hockey.
I just love every time I walk in the rink and see 9 hanging in the rafters.
Me too. Me
Sure
too.
doesn't get. Well, Pedersen was with us yesterday. Patterd, I said, being a Stanley Cup champ, I was introducing him as Stanley Cup champ. I said, never gets old, does it?
No.
A lot of guys. It's still a special group.
Yeah,
it's a unique group.
Yeah.
Not just the 89 Flames.
No.
Cup winners. Right?
Yeah, it is an amazing, and I go back every year for the Warrior Golf Tournament, and I don't know if you heard the story, what happened this year.
You got 40 seconds.
But there was a young boy.
Yes, I did.
Who has a very rare disease.
30 seconds on
and I donated a round of golf, and it cost his family $25,000 US to go to Denver, Colorado to get special treatment. And the community of Moose Jaw paid $68,000 to play a round of golf with me, which then went to the family. It was just amazing. And it's an all men's tournament, and there was not a dry eye.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea. But how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge, big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the Overtime segment brought to you by our friends at Overtime Hockey Lanes here in Calgary. That's where we were yesterday. Today at Golf Fanatics in Calgary for the Breaking Free Foundation Golf Classic. Amber Craig joins us from Breaking Free. Hey, Amber.
Hi.
I don't think I've had you on here.
You haven't.
What's taking so long?
You haven't asked me.
Sorry about that. Well, we're starting something here today.
Yes.
And this might be your best event ever, I'm hearing.
I think so, yes. Numbers-wise, it absolutely is.
So talk about it, what we're doing here today and why it's so great and why you're back at Golf Fanatics.
Yeah, we are here raising money for Breaking Free Foundation. We raise money for our therapy grant program, which allows people with PTSD or trauma symptoms to access trauma-specific therapy through a grant of $750. So that is what our charity raises money for.
It's jaw-dropping to think about the amount of people on your waiting list. Can you just talk about the backlog? That's kind of the problem here.
Yes. So we cut off our list last year when it hit 300 people. And I'm really happy to announce that we are down to the last few. So, and actually after today, we'll be able to reopen that list again because we've done a lot of work in the last year. And this event is really helping. So actually everything that comes in today is allowing new people to come through the program.
We should talk about the online auction. Might as well get it out there. First year for that.
First year for that. So we have an online silent auction right now through Elevate Auctions. And so people can go on there and bid. And the auction closes this Sunday. So it's not closing today. It'll close on Sunday.
So go to all of my social media plus yours. Maybe what are your social media handles so people can follow you there?
Yeah, on Instagram, we're Breaking Free Foundation. And you can find us on Facebook and X and LinkedIn as well.
There's only one bad thing about that. I loved watching Theo try to be an auctioneer every year and auction this all off because we had the stuff here. Yes. Now it's online, and the beautiful thing is you got these, let's be honest, memorabilia hounds. Probably is who's buying this, I would think.
Absolutely.
What are some of the cool things that are on there?
We've got a signed Johnny Gaudreau jersey. We've got a rare Flames alumni jersey of Theo signed from the Shoresy game that happened at the Saddle Dome. We've got an Iginla signed jersey as well. I mean, if you're a hockey fan, there's definitely no shortage of items in the auction.
Right. Elevate Auctions is the website. But again, you're going to want the link. It'll take you to the specific auction. And that's great. It is. Colin Pedersen is on their board. Patter was with us yesterday. We did the show at Overtime Hockey Lanes. He said you guys have been fiddling with that idea for years and finally did it and kind of kicking yourselves.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, and you know, for people that don't golf, even though Golf Fanatics is great for all skill levels, it's great for people that just want to support the cause and can't make it down.
Why did you want to get involved in this? I know you got a history, like everybody's got a history, but you're a big part of this.
Yeah, I mean, I got involved because I'm a child sexual abuse survivor, and I got involved via the Victor Walk that Theo started in 2013. And because of that movement, I ended up connecting with him. And out of that meeting, we actually decided to start the charity because we realized that trauma comes in many forms, and a lot of people are impacted by it, and there really isn't a group that is owning trauma and PTSD. A lot of people find us at our group meetings from Googling PTSD in Alberta, and we're the only thing that shows up.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, and there's been some special moments at this event too.
Absolutely.
Right? What, off the top of your head, can you remember? There's been some survivors in the crowd that have come up. Right?
Yeah, I think there always are survivors in the
Yeah.
crowd because of the stats. We know it's like basically 50% of people, but there's been some people that have graciously shown up to this event to speak about their experiences, which always really touches people when they can see it firsthand. I think people really enjoy the Flames hot stove as well. Like there's a lot we can talk about on the trauma side, but there's some amazing people involved in this organization, and there are people who want to hear some of those old hockey stories too.
You understand, and thank you for having me back every year. You know, have you noticed it's the same stories every year? They never get tired of them.
They never get tired of them.
You've noticed that?
I never get tired of them either, and I've heard them 100 times.
Right. It's the same stories. But I do have to say Tim Hunter stole the show last year, and I don't know why. He's got to be somewhere else today because he would be here.
Yeah.
Theo's his guy.
Yes.
But
yes.
he literally stole the show last year. Everybody's raving about the hot stove. I'm like, it was nothing I did. It was Tim Hunter defending himself against their stories. So we only got a couple minutes. What do we got left here, Producer Corey? Okay, we got 2 minutes. Do you want to rehearse your speech you're going to give? Some stats? You can hear
Yeah.
it.
All right. I got them right handy here. There's no way I can memorize anything these days.
Okay.
So we needed to raise $11,250 to clear our wait list, which was down to 15 people from 300. And we've already, I think, hit that with the silent auction, which is great. To date, we have issued 1,264 therapy grants, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's over $950,000.
Oh my God. This foundation?
Yes. It's a lot.
Oh my God.
It's very expensive to send someone to therapy for trauma treatment. So that's incredible. And we've helped over 70 people at our meetups this year. And we just had a Victor Walk on Sunday, actually, which was the first one we've done in a few years. So we're proud to bring that back as an annual event.
You had some good media coverage for that, I saw.
We did. And that was a lot of work.
Getting him out there. Yeah, of course. Well, getting media to go, number one, and number two, for whatever reason, why is it so easy for us to talk about it and public's not? With less than in 40 seconds, why is there a stigma still?
I don't know. And I did talk about that at the Victor Walk in my speech. You know, everybody walks by and asks what this is about, and we say it's for child sexual abuse, and they keep on walking. And if we're not willing to talk about this publicly, then no one else is going to feel safe enough to reveal it to anyone, which keeps them in the dark and keeps them hurting. And that's how you develop mental illness and addiction. So it's really important that we get the word out there, and we're feeling okay to talk about it publicly so that someone hearing it feels like they can talk about it publicly.
Of course. Well, and that's the thing. I've followed this, and I remember you saying, stop promoting it. We got too many people signing up. We want to help them, but we can't. We can't help them. So you're actually really making some headway. It's got to feel great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. We'll see you inside.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Amber Craig joining us from Breaking Free Foundation. Please go and follow their social media. That's where you'll find the auction link. And hey, not only can you support this wonderful effort, but also get some unbelievable hockey memorabilia, as you just heard. Okay, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. I'll be back at Golden Ticket Sports Center doing the whole thing with a Football Friday with Mike Davis and Kevin the Medium and all the rest. Thanks to Mike Abou-Mechrek, Theoren Fleury, Amber Craig, and all the rest. We'll see you tomorrow here on the RP Show.
That